And here's the beginning of my fantasy career.
We have hits, so there's another offensive category. Do you feel like that was a good trade?
So it's a 6'5"?
6'4". So instead of whip, there's a hits. Yeah, there's a hits category.
Well, I would say it's kind of a wash for me for hits. They're pretty much, they're both good players. So as far as the difference between Miggy and Carlos Gonzalez, I don't think it's a bad deal. But it's an even deal. It's an even deal. I think that added category, it makes it a little interesting.
See the picture behind my head, it makes it a
one and a half dozen of the other. I think Carlos is the better player slightly. So, you come out ahead. I don't think adding hits into it changes my perception of that. You talk about Matt Kemp, just to point out at the beginning, you mentioned Matt Kemp was your first-round draft pick. I think just once the season's underway, we have to all forget about where we drafted players. If you're getting the value out of them, what you got out of them. If Matt Kemp were giving you first-round value, that's awesome. But if he were giving you fifth-round value, you'd still love to have him in your lineup. So don't get hung up on what round you draft players. That's just a general statement. I think it's a fine deal. I think they're very, very close to begin with. The hits doesn't change my opinion. I would prefer Cargo. So that's where I got it.
I find them very close, and AJ, you know what's funny? It's like you pick Cargo, I pick Miguel Cabrera, and I don't think either of us would quibble over that. I mean, we're talking maybe the number one and at worst top five. I mean, you're talking about a guy who, or top three versus top five. You're talking about two top five players. I don't think that's a big issue. If you felt that you needed the outfielder, go for Cargo. If you feel that you want a player who's got a pretty darn good second half history, go with Miguel Cabrera. I mean, and we've seen many times where guys with second half histories didn't do it. So look, I don't have any major issue with either one. The only reason why I shy from Gonzalez is just that he hasn't given you a 162 game season. Ooh.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Miguel Cabrera has done consistently 158 games. But what? I mean, Cargo is 145 games in the bank. That's still awfully good. It's difficult to criticize Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah, I actually traded Edwin Encarnacion and Elvis Andrews. That's how I got Miguel Cabrera. I just thought I've set up my team to kind of be good with average and obviously hits and steals. I also have Andrew McCutchen and Michael Bourne in my outfield as well. So I just kind of wanted to kind of overload those categories.
Look at dude's face. Look at his face. In the middle.
Well, you've done that. I mean, you're just reading off the top 10 list. So, I mean, absolutely.
That's how ridiculous my fucking squad is.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Hard to argue with the success. You got top 10 guys. Don't ever get complacent. But it's hard to complain.
Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for the question.
All right, thanks.